chosen ones. They never thought you'd rise after they left. But now that you've found joy in their absence, they can't stand it. Someone from your past is circling back, not to celebrate your growth, but to disrupt the peace you've built without them. Their anger isn't just about your happiness. It's about the truth they can no longer escape. You never needed them to thrive. Your growth, your independence, it gnaws at the edges of their ego, forcing them to confront their lack of evolution. Their return is not about you, it is about control, about regaining access to the power they once drew from your presence. To them, your boundaries are not barriers to respect, but challenges to conquer. They weave manipulation through words that once felt comforting, weaponizing familiarity to blur your sense of safety. The anger they bring is not random. It is calculated, an attempt to destabilize your peace and remind you of the role they believe you should still play in their story. They do not see you as a person with autonomy, but as a source of validation they lost when you walked away. Their return is a declaration that your freedom unsettles them, their rage fueled by the audacity of your joy, a reminder that you've thrived without them, while they remain trapped in the same cycle you escaped. The parable of the prodigal son illustrates a return marked by shame and expectation. In the story, the son comes back humbled, seeking forgiveness, and is welcomed without condition by a loving father. However, when those who return to your life carry unresolved emotions like resentment or entitlement, they often expect the same acceptance without acknowledging the harm they caused or the growth you've achieved. Unlike the Father's boundless grace, you must set boundaries. Your role is not to fix or absorb their turmoil, but to protect your peace, recognizing that unconditional forgiveness doesn't mean sacrificing hard-won independence or self-respect. Understand this. Their anger is a reflection of their inner unrest, not your truth. Their inability to contain their emotions is not a measure of your strength, but of their unhealed wounds. The sting of their words and the weight of their energy are temporary. You are no longer the ground where their chaos takes root. Their anger may echo, but it cannot redefine who you are unless you allow it. Drop a comment. I thrive without them, if your happiness proves you never needed them. There was a time I couldn't figure out why I was waking up in a terrible mood, drained before my day even started. No arguments, no stress in my life. Yet I felt this heavy, unshakable tension. It wasn't until I heard from an old connection that I realized their anger and bitterness had been lingering in my energy. It was like carrying a weight that wasn't mine to bear. That's when I learned the hard way how important it is to guard my energy and not let their unresolved emotions take space in my life. You must do the same. Draw boundaries so sharp they can't be crossed. Refuse to internalize what does not belong to you, no matter how loud their anger or presence becomes. Release the weight of their emotions. They are not your responsibility to carry. Stand in your power, choose your peace, and let their chaos stay where it belongs, outside of your world. Unresolved connections are not just remnants of the past. They are open channels, siphoning your energy without your consent. These lingering ties operate like invisible threads, tethering you to emotions and events that no longer serve you. Every interaction, every memory, every unspoken word left hanging becomes a doorway, allowing their energy to creep into your space, uninvited and unchecked. You may find yourself inexplicably tired, as though the air itself weighs heavier, tasks feel harder, joy feels muted, and focus becomes elusive. Their unresolved emotions cling to you like a shadow moving just out of sight, pulling at your reserves. It doesn't matter whether they are physically near or far, their presence is felt energetically, their unresolved bitterness or longing seeping into the cracks of your peace. Psychic residue doesn't fade on its own. It lingers in places, objects, even thoughts, every unclosed loop leaving behind fragments that fester. Without realizing it, You may replay conversations or feel emotions that aren't yours, as though a part of them has taken root in your life. This is not coincidence, it is the effect of energy left untended. You must act decisively, close those doors with authority, sever the ties with clarity, and cleanse your space of anything tethered to their chaos. This is your energy, your life. Guard it with unwavering conviction. You may also notice patterns of exhaustion, difficulty concentrating, or a sense of heaviness in your daily life. This is the toll of carrying what isn't yours, the weight of emotions and energy left unaddressed. Recognize these signs for what they are, proof of an open channel that needs to be closed. To reclaim your energy, you must take deliberate, unapologetic action to sever the cords tethered to you. Begin by confronting those unseen threads, the energetic bonds that others have left lingering in your life. Visualize these cords not as abstract ideas but as real, tangible connections, draining your vitality. Then, with purpose, sever them. See yourself wielding an unbreakable force, cutting through each link until nothing remains but your own untainted energy. Your living space, too, must be freed from their residue. Energy clings to spaces, objects, and even the air itself, embedding itself in your environment. Purify your surroundings with methods rooted in ancient wisdom and modern intent. Burn cleansing herbs, open windows to release stagnant air, and speak with authority, declaring your space as yours alone. Every corner, every shadow must be cleared, leaving no room for what no longer serves you, but cleansing is only the beginning. True freedom lies in maintaining energetic hygiene over time. Protect your energy daily by grounding yourself, through meditation, intentional movement, or time spent connecting with the natural world. Set boundaries like steel walls, unyielding to intrusion. Be selective about who you allow into your life and what you allow into your thoughts. Reclaiming energy is not a single act. It is a discipline, a refusal to allow others' chaos to encroach upon your peace. Here's to you, the chosen one. The one who doesn't fit in, the one who sees beyond the veil, the one who's been told to stay quiet, to settle, to conform, but never could. You aren't interested in what's ordinary. You aren't here to follow someone else's rules. You're the light in the dark, the storm that shatters illusions, the unshakable, the unstoppable, the untouchable. While the world is busy running circles, you're walking your own path, alone if you must. Not for the applause, not for the approval, but because it's who you are. Here's to you who take what was meant to destroy you and transform it into something divine, the one who carries wisdom that can't be taught, only earned. If this resonates with you, then maybe it's time to find your people. The Obsidian Inner Order is the only place of its kind, the #1 ascension nexus for chosen ones, where over 400 of us gather to share wisdom, connect, and transform. No masks, no games, just truth. The link is in the description. If you're ready, you'll know where to find us. In Greek mythology, Sisyphus is condemned to an eternal cycle of rolling a boulder uphill, only for it to roll back down, symbolizing futile effort and unending struggle. Carrying psychic residue mirrors this torment. You expend energy dealing with emotions and connections that aren't even yours, feeling drained and stuck, yet unable to move forward. Each unresolved tie pulls you back, keeping you in a loop of emotional and physical exhaustion. Like Sisyphus, you remain trapped until you consciously break the cycle. Releasing these lingering energies frees you to reclaim your strength and channel it into building your own path. You are a force of undeniable gravity, pulling admiration, envy, and conflict toward you because your energy cannot be ignored. Your growth, your clarity, your presence, it lights the spaces others would rather keep hidden. In the glow of your evolution, they are forced to confront the stark contrast of their stagnation. Your accomplishments, hard-won and rooted in transformation, become a mirror reflecting their unhealed wounds, the decisions they avoided and the growth they resisted. It is not just what you've achieved, it is the courage behind it that stirs something primal in them. This duality is inevitable for those like you, those who rise above. They admire you because your light reveals what is possible, what could be. But in the same breath, that admiration twists into resentment because your existence reminds them of what they have not yet faced. They are drawn to you like moths to a flame, seeking the warmth yet scorched by their own fear of change. Understand this, their envy is not your burden, and their conflict is not your shame. It is the natural response to standing unapologetically in your power. Some will elevate because of your example, others will lash out to protect their comfort. Either way, you must hold your ground, knowing that this magnetism is both a gift and a testament to your spiritual evolution. Carl Jung's shadow theory explains that the shadow represents the parts of ourselves we deny or suppress, often out of fear or shame. When chosen ones step into their light, they become mirrors, reflecting both the untapped potential and hidden insecurities of others. This duality, revealing what could be while exposing what is unresolved, can trigger complex emotions. Admiration arises from seeing possibilities, but hostility emerges when individuals are forced to confront aspects of themselves they'd rather ignore. For chosen ones, this reaction is unavoidable, as their growth shines a light that challenges others to face their shadows or resist them entirely. Anger is a potent, low-vibrational force that reverberates far beyond its source. When directed at you, it doesn't just manifest in words or actions, it infiltrates your space, creating ripples of chaos. You may notice tension in places where there was once ease, aggression surfacing from strangers who seem inexplicably hostile, or disruptions in your plans, as if the energy around you resists your progress. These are not coincidences, but echoes of an energy field contaminated by someone else's unresolved rage. Anger, whether actively expressed or silently harbored, carries weight. It clings to the environment, to interactions, even to your own thoughts if left unchecked. It fuels unnecessary arguments, intensifies misunderstandings, and magnifies minor setbacks into seemingly insurmountable obstacles. It's a force that thrives on disruption, feeding on reactions, and spreading like wildfire when left unaddressed. This energy seeks to destabilize, to pull you into its frequency of conflict and imbalance, but you have the power to stop it from taking root. Refuse to meet anger with anger. Instead, ground yourself in clarity and calm, recognizing its attempts to infiltrate your life. Deflect its presence with boundaries that are absolute. Anger may be loud, but it is ultimately weak. It cannot thrive in a space you refuse to give. Protect your energy and let its force dissipate where it cannot touch you. Their anger is a reflection of their own limitations, much like the creature's fury in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. The creature directed his rage at his creator not because of inherent malice, but because he saw in Victor Frankenstein the power and mastery he could never possess. Similarly, when others aim their resentment toward you, it's rooted in their frustration with their own stagnation. Your peace and growth become a reminder of their untapped potential and unhealed wounds. Transmute that energy. Their anger, while unsettling, can become a powerful tool for your growth. Channel its intensity into deepening your focus on what truly matters, your healing, your purpose, and the mastery of your own evolution. Let their resentment become a signal that you are moving beyond the limits they are unwilling to cross. Their attempts to drag you down are proof of your ascent, their hostility an acknowledgement of the strength they lack. Reframe their anger as a distorted form of recognition. It signifies that your energy is undeniable, your light too bright to ignore. Use this awareness to sharpen your clarity and commitment to your path. Their emotions are not a weight to carry. but a resource to transform, turning low vibrations into fuel for the fire of your resilience and purpose. In their anger, find your growth. Protecting your energy requires deliberate and consistent action. Start each day by anchoring yourself in clarity. Use meditation paired with visualization techniques to reinforce your energetic boundaries. See yourself surrounded by an unbreakable shield, impenetrable to negativity, yet open to the flow of what serves your growth. This isn't abstract. It's a command to your subconscious that you will not carry what doesn't belong to you. Rituals are essential for clearing what lingers. Use sage to purify your space, the smoke sweeping away stagnant energy. Sound cleanses like ringing a bell or chanting disrupt negative frequencies, resetting your environment. Salt baths work as both physical and spiritual detox, drawing away what clings to you after a difficult interaction. Boundaries are not suggestions, they are absolutes. Say no to interactions or invitations that feel heavy or chaotic. Protect your spaces, both online and physical, from unwarranted access. Unfollow, block, or delete as necessary. Your peace is worth more than politeness. Physical boundaries include securing your home as a sanctuary, filled only with energy that uplifts. Reinforce your aura with protective tools. Crystals like black tourmaline or obsidian can shield you from negativity, while amulets serve as constant reminders of your strength. Speak affirmations daily. I am untouchable to energy that does not serve me. I am rooted, grounded, and whole. These words rewire your energy field, making it clear: what does not uplift you has no place within you. There was a time when I couldn't figure out why my days felt so chaotic. I'd wake up feeling fine, but by midday, everything felt off. People snapping at me, little things going wrong, and my patience running thin. Then I decided to try something simple. 5 minutes of grounding meditation every morning. I'd close my eyes, picture myself surrounded by a shield of light, and set the intention to keep my energy protected. The change was almost immediate. My days became calmer, and even when challenges came, they didn't knock me off balance. It showed me how something so small can make a massive difference. You can do the same. Take those few moments for yourself each day and make them sacred. Your energy is your foundation. When it's solid, the world's chaos cannot shake you. Commit to practices that guard your peace. And remember, even the smallest action has the power to shift everything. Prioritize yourself unapologetically, because a well-protected energy is not just a luxury, it's your right. External energy, if unchecked, has the power to infiltrate and destabilize even your strongest relationships. Like Iago in Othello, who whispered calculated manipulations into Othello's ear, external forces can plant subtle seeds of doubt, frustration, and misunderstanding between you and those closest to you. This interference often goes unnoticed until its effects ripple outward: sudden arguments, misplaced anger, or an unsettling sense of disconnection. These moments are not random. They are the result of energy bleeding into your bonds, twisting perceptions and creating fractures where none existed. You may find yourself snapping at loved ones over trivial matters, or feel their responses growing colder, more defensive. Emotional distance begins to creep in, leaving you questioning your connection. This is the mark of unfiltered external energy, a shadow cast over your relationships, creating confusion and strain where harmony once thrived. Left unaddressed, these ripples deepen, turning small disagreements into unspoken resentment. To counteract this interference, you must act with intention. Strengthen your communication by speaking openly about the challenges you sense. Clear the shared energy through rituals. Burn sage together, play cleansing frequencies, or simply light a candle and set the intention to reset. Acknowledge the external forces at play and commit to keeping your connection untainted. Rebuild harmony by reinforcing trust and compassion. External energy loses its power when confronted with clarity and unity. Protect your relationships by addressing interference head-on and fortifying the bonds that no outside force should break. Your energy is rare, a force that heals, inspires, and uplifts without conditions. It carries the kind of peace they crave but cannot replicate. Like the portrait in Oscar Wilde's Dorian Gray, your energy becomes an object of fixation for them, a reflection of what they lack and cannot possess. It draws them in, consuming their attention, not because they admire you purely, but because your presence exposes the void within their own. They become addicted to your light, desperate for even the smallest fragment to fill the emptiness they refuse to confront. Your energy is impactful because it offers something intangible. It embodies harmony, strength, and balance, qualities that can't be manufactured or stolen. When you walk into a space, the air shifts, not because you try to dominate, but because you exist with an authenticity that cannot be feigned. They fixate on you because your presence becomes a mirror, reflecting their shadows while soothing their wounds. It's this paradox that drives their obsession. They need you for solace, yet resent what you represent. Breaking their obsession starts with detachment. Avoid emotional engagement, as it feeds the cycle of fixation. Refuse to let their energy attach to yours by calling back your power through intentional affirmations. I reclaim all that is mine and release what is not. Perform rituals that sever the unseen threads binding them to you. Burn herbs, wash with salt, or meditate on your sovereignty. Detachment isn't indifference, it's self-preservation. Protect your light by keeping it sacred, ensuring their longing remains theirs alone. Let them fixate on what they can't have while you move forward, untethered and unbothered. Their return is not an accident, it is a test, a reflection of the transformation you have undergone. Like the mythical phoenix rising from ashes or Shakespeare's The Phoenix and the Turtle, this moment reveals how opposites, chaos and peace, stagnation and growth, collide to teach you the strength of separation. Their resurfacing is not about reconciliation, but about revealing the boundaries you've built, the cycles you've broken, and the emotional independence you now command. Their presence is a reminder of what you've transcended. Once, their energy may have shaken your foundation, pulling you into patterns that dulled your light. Now, you meet their return with clarity. Their anger, longing, or bitterness no longer siphons your power, it highlights your resilience. What once tethered you now stands as evidence of how far you've come, a past that no longer has a claim over your present. Respond with grace, but without compromise. Compassion is not an invitation for them to re-enter the spaces you've reclaimed. Acknowledge their pain if needed, but let them carry it themselves. Boundaries are your strength, and this moment is an opportunity to wield them unapologetically. Their return is not a disruption, it is a confirmation of your growth. The spiritual purification of separation, like the phoenix shedding ashes, allows you to stand in your full power. Let this experience serve as proof that your energy is too valuable to be entangled in what no longer aligns with your path. You have risen, and their presence only emphasizes how brightly you now burn. Your energy is a force, and your purpose is its rightful vessel. Strengthen your focus by setting clear intentions for the next phase of your growth. Decide with conviction that joy, peace, and fulfillment are no longer negotiable. They are the foundation of everything you create. Let challenges, no matter how they manifest, serve as fuel. Their negativity is not a hindrance, but a catalyst, igniting your creativity and deepening your spiritual evolution. Remember this, their fixation on you is not a burden, but proof of your impact. It is a testament to your uniqueness, to the brilliance they cannot ignore. Reclaim your power by thriving unapologetically. You owe no explanation for your light, only your commitment to letting it shine brighter. This is your time to transcend, to move forward, carrying only what uplifts you and leaving the rest in the shadows where it belongs. There was a time when I felt like someone from my past just couldn't let go. They'd pop up in strange ways, watching my social media, sending cryptic messages, or trying to involve mutual friends. At first, it felt overwhelming, like they were trying to drag me back into a version of myself I'd outgrown. But then it hit me. Their fixation wasn't about me. It was about what I represented. My growth, my peace, and my happiness were reminders of what they hadn't found in themselves. Instead of letting it bother me, I started using their energy as fuel. Every time I felt their negativity, I poured it into my work, my goals, and my peace. It became a reminder of how far I've come and why I'll never go back. You can do the same. Shift your perspective and let their energy motivate you. Instead of reacting, redirect. Use their fixation as proof of your power and as a push to go even further. Protect your peace by cutting ties where needed, reinforcing boundaries, and focusing entirely on what elevates you. Let their obsession with your light serve as a constant reminder to keep shining brighter. Their chaos has no place in your clarity. Keep moving forward, unapologetically and unstoppable. You are the architect of your peace and the guardian of your energy. Their anger, their obsession, and their attempts to reach you are not reflections of your shortcomings. They are shadows cast by your brilliance. Every challenge they present is proof of how far you've risen and how much you've transformed. Their fixation is not power over you. It's the residue of their inability to evolve as you have. You are not responsible for their stagnation, their wounds, or their inability to let go. Reclaim your control with clarity and authority. Set boundaries so unyielding that nothing toxic can pass through. Reaffirm your purpose daily, anchoring yourself in joy, strength, and self-mastery. When their energy attempts to disrupt you, let it become a reminder of your resilience, your focus, and your unwavering commitment to move forward. You are untouchable unless you allow yourself to be drawn back into what no longer serves you. You are the chosen one, not by accident, but by strength. You've endured, evolved, and risen higher than they ever expected. Now is the time to claim your peace fully and unapologetically. Their chaos is no match for your clarity. Share your story. Let others know how you've reclaimed your energy, set your boundaries, and thrived. Your voice can inspire others to protect their light and rise above.